ready.
Your repurposed freighter drifts through space. As you stare out at the star-flecked void,
Wolf,
another
what's up?
ship comes in. Wait, is this
Doing
sci-fi?
well.
I thought we agreed on a World War II campaign. Oh. Did we? That's cool. I can pivot. The smell of smoke curdles in your nostrils. Hold up, I thought we were prepping for a zombie apocalypse campaign. Alright, here's what we're doing. It's the year 3700. Humanity's elite fled to other planets long ago, taking with them all forms of advanced technology. Earth survivors scrape by with historic tools as weird phenomena plague abandoned nuclear
Michael,
sites.
what's up?
Witnesses report seeing glowing lights and the dead rising from their graves. And amidst the chaos, 3 strangers will meet in a dim bar. A veteran zombie slayer, a disgraced general out for revenge, and a space mercenary sent to investigate the power plants. Now describe your characters.
Going on,
How
man?
did you do that?
Shout outs up to date here.
I have the right tools for the job.
There it goes. That good, Michael? Just let me know. Needed that. Oh, cool. Okay. Rock and roll. Anna.
A story once spoken is ageless. The dungeon imagined without end. The curious are the ones most courageous.
Hello.
The tree that endures has to bend.
We go.
From stillness the mad mage is stirring.
Oh.
From countless voices
Shout-outs.
the castle takes shape.
Yeah.
Zagig will test the enduring. Those unlucky will never escape.
Thanks, Striker. Appreciate it. Hey, Mandy. Rock and roll. Hey, Sal. Good to see you. Oh, by the way, it's Super Bowl Sunday, so we're gonna have Gavin next Monday. By the way.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's like
Good to
even though
know.
the Eagles aren't in. Or
I
anything.
know it's sometime now because it's starting to pop up everywhere that it is Super Bowl soon. So, yeah. So that's.
Definitely gonna be a fun one.
Yeah.
You know what? I should bring
I hope so. Yeah.
nature map up too. On another note, I wished Andrew Scott Perry all the best and he responded with positive words. That's all I'll say.
Awesome. That's good.
Yeah, non-descriptive positive words. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Wow, tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow's Thursday, man. Absolutely. We're all a little off. Okay, good. Get that set there. Oh, we hit the
POV,
wrong
I
one.
had 30 minutes before my campaign group showed up, and
I know,
I was
everything's
totally
blowing by.
unprepared. I grabbed my ready set encounter box and boom,
Everything's going
everything
too
I needed
fast.
for an epic session. Adventure hooks, map tiles, loot tables, stat blocks, and miniatures, all ready to go. My players still think I spent hours planning our great dragon encounter. If you're a busy dungeon master, get Ready Set Encounter live now on Kickstarter. POV, I had 30 minutes before my campaign group showed up, and I was totally unprepared. I grabbed my Ready Set encounter box and boom, everything I needed for an epic session. Adventure hooks, map tiles, loot tables, stat blocks, and miniatures, all ready to go. My players still think I spent hours planning our great dragon encounter. If you're a busy dungeon master, get Ready Set Encounter live now on Kickstarter.
Oh, it's 6:52. We're good. It's like now that we had that discussion with Andrew past us on Sunday, I'm like, well, how do I top that, right? It took years, right? 3 years at least. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Just gotta shoot for the stars now and who we need to get next. Oh man, all being sick in the house at the same time, that's awful. Wait a minute, Chris, I didn't set it up. 1 sec. That's on me. 1 sec here. It's set up, I just didn't start it. Oh, there we go. There we go. Set it. Wow, awesome. Thank you. I got the hiccups now all of a sudden. Great. Perfect. Ah, man, I know it stinks, but, you know. It's Mike. It's all good. Hey, hey,
Hello.
hey. I thought for a second there you were going to sing the Benny Hill song. It started that way. Stick your finger in your ear and go ding-a-ling-a-loo. That's the Benny Hill song. I could have sworn, Captain Bone, you were singing that. And then I said, and then swallow 5. I was like, oh, no, didn't say it. You weren't singing it. So, of course, like 90%, that once again, I'm showing my age by the Benny Hill reference. Mike,
Yeah,
I think
almost
it's
said. Yeah.
Mike,
I'm
I think
sorry,
it's time for a new Colts hat, man. Maybe that's change it up there a little bit. No,
Nope, not giving up.
That's good. Yeah.
live. All right, we are here and all intact. And why am I frozen in Zoom?
You are frozen in. There you go.
There you
Yep.
go. That was weird. No drop frames. Who knows? I don't even want to question why anymore. So, good evening. I got GREYHAWK Mike and Hannah with me tonight as we're going to. Hey, this is a topic I came up with for a change instead of Mike.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
chill. Yes, so we're gonna go talk Leonard's Lendore Isle tonight. And a lot of you may not, if you're newer or play fifth edition, you may not even know what the hell I'm talking about. That could be it. Lendore Isle may be like Greek to you, so this will be a good one um, to discuss. So just some quick announcements. Game tomorrow night, game Saturday morning, and then Death to Ming. That's funny. It's funny, Josh. No Gavin for the Super Bowl. Hey, what's up, Wiley? The Gavin will be on Monday night, probably next week, so we'll be fine with that. So yeah, thanks, Wiley. It's good to see you, man. Yeah, I know you're a Len guy too. So let's make it all worthwhile here. And if you don't know who Len Lakofka is, go back to some of the old Gavins and Legends and Lore, and you'll be able to find him. Thank you, Mandy. You'll be able to find him in there. He was on the show about 40 times. It would just hop on, sometimes stay 10 minutes, sometimes stay for the whole time. It just was funny. It got to the point where, hey, Len, you can come anytime you want. We had some great moments, but then Len he was ill. He was ill the whole time, and it got to the point where he was on our show, and then the next day he had passed the next day. And how many years ago are we talking now? Are we talking 3, 4?
Must be 4 or 5 years now.
I think it's between 4 and 5. Yeah. So, okay, cool. Gotcha.
Because it was just that it was during when COVID was still a thing, so to speak. It was because there was restrictions and mask wearing and a little bit. It was at that tail end of that, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
October 2020, according to Wiley, so it's more like 5.5.
Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly. Because COVID was still a thing. When I went out to see Gary, it was still keeping distance and stuff was still a thing.
Not crazy nutty. So we had some great memories, and just why not come at this in a different perspective, and that is, what the hell is Lendore Isle? So if you do not, be honest, you do not have any idea about Lendore Isle or the L series of adventures, just put it in chat. I'm curious. So thanks, Wolf. Thank you very much. Like new people. Yeah, that's funny, Mike. I'm talking about brand new people to the community. There you go. It's yes, good. So we got some people going to learn. Yeah. So let's start here. And that is really kind. Thank you very much. Sam, stop. Hey, Wilson. Cool. So I'll throw this up, the map. Get those all going. So now, a lot of you probably don't know this, but this map, the original Darlene map, it's not the original GREYHAWK campaign. There are a lot of things smashed in there that were not part of Gary's GREYHAWK campaign. He threw in Dave Arneson's, Blackmore. He threw in White Plume Mountain wasn't his. That was Alan Hammock's, right? Harold Johnson's whole area got thrown in there, along with Leonard Lakofka. And Lenard was a genius when it came to it, and also is in a lot of places you don't even know about. Like, he doesn't get credit for it, but he was editing the player's handbook, the original Dungeon Master's Guide. He did a lot of stuff that he just didn't even
Well,
take
he
credit
was
for.
one of Gary's personal friends and
Yes,
gaming friends. He
that's
was not a
true.
TSR employee, so that was a different thing. He was never a TSR employee,
Yep,
but he was one of Gary's
yep,
gaming buddies, so to speak.
yeah.
And from what we understand and understood that he came with Gary, and he was also one of the folks that Gary interacted with that had as like a bouncing ball, like a
Yeah, he threw
to
stuff off of him.
exactly,
He gave
and did
advice.
back and
Yeah.
forth. So, yeah, so Len had a different
Hmm.
relations in that sense because he was not tied in with TSR more than a bit like Ed Greenwood in that sense too, because Ed was also never an employee of TSR. He just submitted Dragon articles and a whole bunch of stuff like that and was very influential. But Len was in the very early stages of D&D and GREYHAWK. And
Len was a
one
war
of
gamer.
exactly. He was a war gamer, so he
Yeah, he
came
was an
from
original war
that
gamer.
the same way that Gary came into the hobby by be part of creating it. So, but one of the things that I think is interesting with Lendore Isle from a publishing perspective is that in the folio and the World of the 83 box set, it doesn't have its own listing. It's listing under Spindrift Isles.
Interesting.
Yeah, so the when you go through and read through the different like setting books from the folio in 83 80 and then 83 box set where Lendore Isle is mentioned by name as one of the Spindrift Isles. That's it.
Interesting.
There's nothing more on Lendore Isle. Lendore Isle is barely a thing in 80 and 83. But during those years, Len submitted Dragon articles for Dragon magazine and stuff. So it became a thing
Hmm.
afterwards more, so to speak. So when we came to, and the interesting thing is, Carl Sargent is the one that makes Lendore Isle a thing when it comes to setting publications. Because we had the Dragon articles and we had all the adventure modules that Jay, you're going to be good to talk about and you present during the show. But when you take it from the setting perspective, Carl Sargent, he made Lendore Isle a thing because he started a conflict between the elves on the northern isles of the Spindrifts that are up there, and the Lendore Isle that is in the southern part. And another interesting thing to this that Len was so furious is that the isles got cut off. They
The
didn't have
original
room
Darlene
enough for
map.
the
Yeah.
Darlene map, and they were cut in half. And Laurel Tarma was moved a bit so it could fit on the map. So it was barely a thing in early days of GREYHAWK publishing. It was Len's work after 80 83 that made Lendore Isle into a thing, and then in from the ashes, Len it's not Spindrift Isles, it's listed under Lendore Isle, and Spindrift becomes the little thing that no one cares about anymore, and Lendore Isle became the focus. And the same thing when you go to Living GREYHAWK Gazetteer, they expand and try to make all this comes together and they give it a backstory, and the Lendore himself comes into the story, and we get a story of how the Isles was settled and the ancient elves and Lendore and all of that stuff, so to speak. It gives Lendore Isle a setting, becomes gives it a history, gives it a place in the setting.
Sounds
If you
original.
like that place or not, that is a completely different stuff that we get to later on. But it's interesting to see that Len literally through his all these modules and stuff gave Lendore Isle a name that was big enough that then Lendore Isle became a thing in the setting later on, because Gary probably didn't pay much attention to it, because if he had did have done that would have been written more about it and he would have probably been included on the map and stuff. So it was interesting. It's something that has grown into GREYHAWK rather than being there from the get-go. But that
Okay,
was
so
a long time to go over. But when it comes to originally published content, so to speak,
yeah, well, if we show the original Darlene map,
yeah,
that there,
I'm
here,
sure that the whole isle
here
was
it
probably
is.
made by Darlene, and then they cut it for
Yeah, it's.
reasons
I
of
mean, it's
of
not. I mean, it's just.
it need to fit in print. So I've
Yeah,
done that in
yeah,
multiple maps, so that's
right,
nothing unusual. So yeah,
right. It barely, there's barely any, there's nothing there.
yeah,
So which is all the way over on this side of the map. But now he's writing for Lendore Isle content in 1981. Hey, what's up,
Hmm.
McLeod? Because so everything is placed on Lendore Isle starting then, all his adventures, because
Yeah.
Bone Hill's 1981, and it's L series for Lendore Isle. So
Yeah.
he is writing, his content for it, all three of his.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe he had an underwritten kind of agreement with Gary to write for Lendore Isle, just like Frank Menzer had for his Aquaria or whatever, something that because Gary
Right.
had that. So that might have been an agreement. We don't know. We haven't seen it, and no one has. But it's a possibility that they had a kind of an understanding or something of that, because they were talking to each other and they were friends back when this all happened. So
Right.
yeah.
Right. But I just he hated what Sergeant did to his setting
Oh
area.
yes. Oh yeah. Yeah,
Absolutely
exactly.
despised
Oh
it.
yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So let
Yep.
me go back to this map. Yeah, Adam's map with the detail. So if you come back here, yes, they're called the spin drifts. All us,
Yeah,
but
it's hard. I tried to separate them a bit because they had
right,
such a different story, but that
right.
might be a dumb thing. I might put them
That's
together
fine.
again.
No, it's good.
We'll see. Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
So the main is here where all his adventuring is. And it gets big and it grows and grows and grows. And he actually, if you know the site, it's an old school site called Dragon's Foot. He's got a whole bunch of stuff written
Mm-hmm.
for this from there. We'll show that
Yeah.
as well. But you're looking at probably below I have has crooked paint printing. Well, that's strange. Absolutely, there fourth. So first adventure, a classic, and that is The Secret of Bone Hill. Now, the cover art is, to me, we actually had it redone for one of the virtual GrowCons. Um, Shows a monster that just disappears after. I know some people have forced it back into books, but like Len was great for creating his own stuff before it was really allowed. Like he would do stuff in adventures that you're like, wow, I didn't realize someone would write this. And there's a lot of that in this Secret of Bone Hill. There's a lot of monsters that you may know this day that are Len's. Oh, by the way,
That that
so
yeah.
fifth edition people, you know Len from one place because everyone uses the damn spell in fifth edition. Leomund Secure Shelter, right? Leomund is the equivalent of Ed Greenwood, Elminster, Leonard Lakofka, Leomund. Okay, that's how Leomund was never a member of the Circle of Eight, but he was a high wizard in his own right. And there's
Mhm.
writings in the Earth Journal about his travels. So and he has a lot of spells out there. But yeah,
Yeah,
that's how you know
Lehman's Tiny
Lehman's Tiny
Hut.
Hut. Yes, there's a whole
Yep.
bunch of them.
Hmm.
Yeah. So definitely that's where so you'll know that's Leonard. All right. So cool thing about Leonard was OCD when it came to every person must be documented in an adventure.
Yes.
That was his, whether it's a drawback or whether it's a great thing that be, that
Well,
was his
it's a
thing.
one approach to the game.
Yes, it
It's
is.
if
Yeah,
it's better or worse, that depends on your play style, what you emphasize.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But he gave you a lot of information. Now, the Secret of Bone Hill, this adventure says its levels 2 to 4. There's this is like its own setting. It's kind of
Hmm.
like Keeping the Borderlands and Hamlet, where there's so much going on in the outskirts that you can start at first level with this. And then you can place it in other places. You don't want to go out to Lendore Isle. You want to place it somewhere else. I think you could do
Yeah.
that too.
And
Yeah.
This was something that was very typical of its time because it's Gary and others who wrote stuff early on. They simply assumed, and they wrote in Dragon articles, that DMs were supposed. They thought DMs, you got the rules, and then you wrote your own adventures and settings and places and stuff, and you needed the rules to do that. That modules and settings and stuff became, and Len is very much in that first generation tradition of making your own content. You make your own adventure places, but the concept of setting was not really honed out when
No,
a
it
lot of
wasn't.
this was written. It
Yeah,
came
yeah,
later on, so to speak. That's why a lot of stuff was shoehorned into Greyhawk when game setting, like a whole world of D&D adventures became a thing. But that's afterwards. So yeah.
yeah, yeah. Mike, have you run any of these?
I have not run either any of them actually. I
Really?
think it goes up to five, L5.
Yeah,
Yeah,
from yeah,
L5. Yeah.
L5
Yeah.
with counting the two from Dragon's Foot. Um,
No,
you know,
I have not ran these.
so
I have not even ran my own stuff on these islands. It's
it's so
really
remote,
it's remote.
and I think Len when he was on once said to Gary, well, you've given all these locations to everyone else. I have all this content where, well, here there are these unnamed islands out here. You can have them.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I got the
That
damn
that's what
islands.
yeah, that's what I think too, that you just plunged in there. I don't think
Yeah.
Len had the idea of tying it into the greater setting. He built his little mini empire of cool stuff over there, so to speak. And then Greyhawk
It's
took
cool.
on a bigger life that Len wasn't really
Yeah.
involved in. So
No, he
I
wasn't.
don't
He
think
was.
Bonehill don't have a map of the island. I think it even says that in the very beginning of it.
yeah. But oh, sorry.
No,
Good.
and
Yeah.
that when the second one comes along a couple of years later, then it feels a little more grounded in the
hmm
setting
Yeah.
because by then the box set's out.
Yeah. And also we know that Len, once he got that assigned to him and say, oh, you can develop your stuff, put it there, then Len started to make it into a setting because he started making maps and write about he didn't include a backstory, but he started to at least get the geography sorted out, so to speak. He started to make maps of the island. He was very much into maps and Jay, you have some of the old ones I've scanned and stuff.
I
I think
do.
you
I
have.
have. I
Yeah.
have
hmm
stuff that we're gonna
Yeah.
show. Like,
Yeah. That's good.
yeah,
Yeah. So
I'll
he
give you an
he
example
kind
real
of.
quick
Mhm.
here of something we're gonna show. We're gonna share. He actually demarks every single thing during these common years
Yep.
that for what happens in Reston for the town
hmm
from 575, 576, and
Yep.
577 based on the
Yeah.
adventure.
hmm
So he has this for 575. Then he
Yeah.
has
He
one.
had a
Yeah,
cartographer, a German guy that
yeah,
did these. I
yeah.
think that made these, and he collaborated with before he started collaborating with us. So he
I
had, and
also,
before then he had his own version of two versions of the island
yeah,
that he but and Len never paid any interest to the spindrifts as a whole. He
no,
was only Lendore Isle was his thing. Yeah,
absolutely. Now look at this. This is
yeah,
from his notes. Look at it. I mean,
yeah,
look at how old that is, and this is all his. These are all. So
hmm
the sold gods like Ouija is his god.
yeah.
Yeah, and
A lot of
Ouija.
this is done in the 80s. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say it's 80s or 70s. He may have done this,
I,
but we just don't know.
it's computer printouts that look
Yeah.
very 80s to
Okay.
me rather
Okay.
than 70s. Yeah.
But like Ouija, we know that deity was Ouija, like the board. But they
Yeah.
said you can't do
Yeah.
that, so he had to change the
Yeah.
name.
He
And
had he had basics. He programmed in basics to do this, and then he printed out a lot
yeah,
of stuff because we have basics for character creators and stuff
here.
like that
I
written
mean, this is
in
stuff we've gotten
basic.
from
Yep.
previous shows. And like
Yep.
here's all his stuff for the gods here.
Yep.
Yeah. So he had a lot of
This is later on. This he's
yeah.
probably did like 20 years ago or something like that. Yep.
Now I bet you that stuff's in the 80s as well. All that. I think it's
Some of
80s.
that was, I'm sure it was done and
Yeah.
then redone
Yeah.
in Excel later versions and
I'm a
printed out
cloud. Like I
afterwards.
said,
Yeah.
Len was a good friend of to myself and Anna and Josh Pop, who's in chat.
Yeah.
Zarathon.
hmm
I mean, well, Josh would egg him on in Facebook chat all the time, and then he'd say,
Yeah.
then Len would threaten him with, "Do you still want me to talk to you?" And Josh
Yep.
was like, okay, yeah." So yeah,
Yeah.
Len was, yeah. Len
And he,
also,
oh, sorry.
when he thought he was right and you were wrong, he let you know.
Yeah.
So yes.
Yeah. And he was very, very thorough. Like you said, he studied out everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. And one of those notes, he does describe one of the northern spindrift being home of a cloud giant. Yeah. So, all right. So you come here and you got rumors, lots and lots of rumor lists. I mean, he was always up on detail. I mean, extreme detail.
Mm-hmm.
Locations out all around Bone Hill. Basically, it's one of those mystery, haunted places. And names, as you can see, the rosters are very, very detailed. And then all the other hills around. So let me see if I can go to the map at the end real quick and then just go back and see where are those
Yeah,
maps.
that's true, Wily Hobbit. And welcome. Thank you for being here. Yeah.
Yeah, Wiley,
Good
good
to
to see
see.
you.
Good to have you here. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, where are they? Where are they? Where are they? Here, that's Restonford. Here we go. I'm sorry, it's sideways, but yeah, as you can see,
Yeah.
he was huge on cartography.
Yeah.
He loved
And
elevation lines.
exactly, I was going to say elevations line. When you see a
Yeah,
map that looks like this
yeah,
and a little bit hand drawn, that this is done by Len himself. He did these. This is
yeah,
his style of mapping. He was very keen on, and that's probably another leftover from wargaming days when you
yeah.
have these things. So
Absolutely,
you staple
absolutely.
their little
Height
hills.
was a huge advantage in
Yeah.
war
Mm-hmm.
in combat. So
Yep.
yeah,
Yep. So he
yeah.
made these, and they were probably so he could technically put them on the gaming table like you have, Jay. That was probably a little bit
He
of,
was huge on
even
the
if you
sand
never.
table. He loved
Yep.
Gary's
Mm-hmm.
sand table. He
Yep.
always said that whenever he was
Mm-hmm.
over there because he lived in
Yep.
Chicago, so he
Yep.
knew Gary from wargaming conventions.
Mm-hmm.
And then he really got in on the D&D scene. And there's a lot of stuff that Len has done that it's like, second nature. Like for example, Nistel's magic aura. He created that spell.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of stuff he did. So here's Restonford, where the adventure is up here, and the Secret of Bonehill is down here. Now it's just turn inside for the adventure, but that just shows you, he's got a whole campaigning area, and it's filled with locations. So it's filled with all these locations. Here's Bald Hill. Here one of the best things was Len was great on creating weird stuff. So in here is the Church of the Big Game, which is a church to Norbo, and basically you can go in and gamble at the church.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so there's a picture of them gambling inside the
Don't
church.
think Noribo is even mentioned though by name in that module
Was
because I
it?
think it's just pre-box set,
Yeah,
so
it's very
Ah.
possible it's not
it's
even in
just
here. Yep,
Church of the Big Gamble.
right. I always thought it would be like someone else, but it's definitely Norbo. And then it comes in. I guess in a rewrite they didn't change it, but yeah, yeah. And look, oh Master of Lots, bring the divine intervention in my behalf this day. All praise to thee, who controls the destiny of wagerers.
Mm-hmm.
So
I
except for
need to write that stuff down because I'm playing a cleric of Noribo
oh,
on Rich's
perfect.
game. Yeah.
Yeah. So he did. My son's party attacked and killed them. Oh, that's right. You told me that, Tim. That's just like murder, dude, for your son. They tried some shady stuff, so your kids group killed them. Man, well, it's ever mysterious Tim teaching his son how to play. So that's exactly what you. There you go. For Len, it was Oberon. Yes, it was Oberon from Shakespeare, reversed at Norbo. Grell was the same way. There was already a monster named Grell, so he just swept that to Lurg as well. Yeah, they get for being chaotic. Yes, Sam agrees. So there's gangs out here in Bald Hill. I know there's a bunch of gnolls around here too. Yeah, here we go. All these areas are filled with just bad monsters and stuff. So you could clear out the whole lands around Restonford before you even get to the town. Um, yeah. Martin Strider Ranger. There you go. He's got it all detailed out. Look at these encounter chance percentages. I mean, these are crazy stuff. So, and then Bonehill in the Dead Forest. So this is all just prelude stuff for the adventure. Yeah, he's always very good on it. And a lot of the stuff that gets built for the Isle is all because well, led to this here. So in this area on the outskirts is the two monsters that I use all the time in early low-level adventures. So one's called a Zombire and one's called a Skelter. Now you probably have never heard of them.
No.
Len
No.
created them. The Zombire, it has a tongue, zombie. The Skelter has eyes, and the Skelter's on the cover. That's the Skelter.
Ah,
Yep.
okay.
Yep.
So a zombire is not a zombie vampire?
The Zombire is a zombie spellcaster. So is the Skelter. So if we come here, it'll be a description on him right here. All right. So it says, Zombire is not so like a zombie. A Zombire should have a little more somewhere else.
How is a spellcasting zombie a low-level monster?
Well, it has 2 spells: a magic resistance and protection from good. I mean, 2 spells. Right?
That's one more spell than a first-level wizard.
Yeah, that's true. It can return his race, and then the Skelter is an animated remains of a once very evil low-level magic user. So, and it has shield and sleep, which sleep is nasty against low-level parties, right? Yeah.
I also see something called a ghoul sturgy there.
A what?
In that same area as the zombires and skeletors.
Oh, ghoul sturges over here. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Yeah. So he, like I said, Len creates stuff that doesn't exist in the monster manuals, which
I
was
want
a
to know how
no-no
that
back then.
never carried over.
Yeah. It was a big no-no back then because they wanted it all, pretty. They're like, the UK guys could do their own thing, and then Fiendfall came out with all the UK monsters, right? But from here, so this one, this is a great catch, Mike. The first successful hit, the Ghoul Sturgis, 1 to 4 points of damage. It paralyzes the victim. Let's just say versus paralyzation is made.
See, I would use that tomorrow.
Yeah, well, there you go. Now you can,
it's
man.
my high-level group.
Yeah. See, that's perfect. And this is the kind of stuff all throughout here. Little tidbits here and there are things that are Len.
A little special monsters. He was really into that.
He was into changing things up because
none of those things are in the appendix of this adventure.
Nope.
As new monsters. That's what's amazing.
Yeah.
I guess it's like Jay said, they weren't approved.
No, and also I think his minute interest in rules minutia made that he changed a few little things in the stat block and then called it something else, and that way it took on a life by its own, so to speak. So
I guess that's a DM thing to do.
Yep.
But I use Zombires and Skelters all the time with low-level groups coming up. Absolutely. He's also doing no-nos over here that rarely are bugbear shamans. That wasn't done, that much in other adventures where you had those, the spellcasters from other, and here's Telvar the Mage, but it just was not done. He loved to experiment, and he also, like, for example, there's a ton of articles you don't even realize he wrote in Dragon. Like, he did one called The Entertainers, and there's he didn't write the Jester, Roger Moore did, but the Troubadour and the Jugglers and all that are his.
Were they NPC classes or were they full classes?
They were NPC. You could make them PCs, but they're mostly NPC classes.
Yeah.
So, Out of Depth, thank you for that. Yes, like I said, Len, we were fortunate to have Len on the show about 40 times before he passed about 5.5 years ago. So Shamans, DMG, page 44. Yeah. It just wasn't done though. The people didn't do that. They didn't like put that in. And now there's a lot of magic items. This is a bonus. As Sam says, this is like a setting. It's more of a little setting around Restonford, whereas the next adventure will be L2 is really everyone says that's Lenard's crowning achievement is L2. And we could talk about that. Yeah. Blue Dragons.
Is Restonford the capital?
No.
Lower
Tarma, which is interesting because it appears to be moved around a bit. So
well, that's what I'm saying is does Len have a Lower Tarma? Is Restonford supposed to be his capital?
Well, it's kind of
No?
interesting. He has a Lorel Tarma that is spelled different. Lorel
Okay.
Tarma, one
Well,
word,
yeah.
and it was located on the little island
Okay.
south of Lendore Isle.
I see.
But he also has it located in the northwest of Lendore Isle and some of his maps. So there is an ambiguity where he actually had it, or maybe he,
Okay.
yeah. So yeah, I don't know.
All right. So here's my theory on that. He was so pissed off at to that day. He always complained about Darlene, and it really wasn't her fault, right?
No, but it was probably something that it was.
Drove him
My
crazy.
guess is that there was simply the prince is only this big, and we need
Yeah.
to cut it somewhere. So they probably made a
But
editorial
he's
decision, and yeah,
decided Darlene moved that location, so F it. I'm never
mhm,
using it. I'm telling you, that's
yeah.
the way he was.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And there is also a Laurel Tarma. There is also a Pelrel Tarma that is on the main isle, so to speak. That is the ferry across town, so to speak. How much of this is really lens creation? Yeah, probably it is. But he also varied a bit over from his earlier stuff to his later stuff because he developed his campaign just like so. He might have done some sketches and stuff, and then when he started playing with it, he realized we need to change it or something. So things are inconsistent even in yeah. And this is also some of it is TSR publication, some of it is Len's own publication on Dragon's Foot and stuff, and some of this that we will discuss today are Len's stuff that we have gotten from him or
Mhm.
gotten that he left us, so to speak.
Yeah.
So that means that there's at least 3 different versions of Lendore Isle in that sense, so to speak.
Yeah. So you're not going to do this adventure in one night if you're going to do it. It's going to take you multiple settings because there's so much to explore. Now,
Yeah.
here's more of Len's genius. There is a potion missability table in the Dungeon Master's Guide,
Yes, that was his
right?
thing. Yeah.
Where if you
Was
take
that the
two,
same one? Is that the same one that made it into Dungeon Master's Guide, or was it never made it into any
well,
other
no,
product? Or
DMG is the only place that I know of it exists in first
oh, okay,
edition. And then,
yeah.
but Len has crossed potions here in this adventure.
Ah,
So here we go. An extra healing potion mixed with a potion of diminution. Now, that one's not that great. This is the best one. A potion of Pyamore Self crossed with a potion of vampire control. Yes. So here and it says so the missability is done already. So whatever happens, there's going to be a weird effect. So here he goes. When fully imbibed, the figure will become nervous and excitable. He'll want to do something that will know what it is. Caution not be exercised. The very next living thing the character mentions, however, is what he or she becomes. Permanent. So yeah. So there you go. So I forget who got turned. Someone got turned into a mongoose for some reason. Someone meant whoever did it mentioned that mongoose like a 15 minutes later, and I'm like, guess what? You're a mongoose. Like what? Yeah. So yeah, he was doing this crazy stuff. Look at all of them. There's like 4 of them in here before anyone else would ever even have thought of doing this in an adventure. Crazy stuff, that he would do that. So like this potion of longevity costs with speed. That's insane. So yeah, you get 5 years younger, and you can move at 50% bonus for 30 rounds, but then you may take like a lot of damage from it. So
Hmm.
yeah,
Man, that's got me thinking now. I just used a potion of speed yesterday in my
hmm
game, but to
yeah,
slip with some mixed up potions would be fun.
yeah. You just get. I mean, you could really mess up someone's day.
Yeah,
Yeah, with the potion missability. I don't even know what happens now in 5th edition. Is there a missability table?
I don't know, but I think it would be easy to adapt.
Right, but officially, like, can you? What happens when you take 2
Mm,
potions in 5th?
I don't know.
Yeah, someone was
You
someone was
probably just
experimenting.
get both.
Yeah.
You probably just get the both effects,
Hmm.
unless the effects themselves. So it's probably that easy. So meaning
Right.
you can only take 1 potion around. You take the first potion, you get the effect from that one. If that persists, it persists, and then you take the second potion. Unless it's one of shrinking and the enlargement, then you go back to normal again, so to speak. So unless the effects cancel out, potion is nothing special in it. That's my guess
Yeah.
that it works that way.
I don't want to ruin the adventure for anyone who hasn't run it. So, wow, Sam. It's considered an optional rule. There is misspelling. Okay, thank you. Did not know. There's some really powerful items for low-level characters in here. Len loved giving out treasure. Two monsters that are in here that he created. He created the Spectator. He created the Stone Guardian. Those are both his creations, and they're both in this adventure for the first time. And I think both those creatures appear in Monster Manual 2 eventually. And here's Restonford. And he has that other map done of Restonford. Look, every location's marked with a number on it. So the entire town is done up. Restonford Castle, under the castle, Falco's Tavern, very well done up. So it's like Hamlet level as far as detail goes. With all that, all Len's doing.
Yeah, I think Len was much more thorough than Gary in that sense.
Absolutely.
Gary was like making cool stories and wing it and stuff, but Len was like, no, it was anal about every housekeeper need to be statted
look at
out.
this. Yeah. So if you go, room 18 guard posts, 3 males, mixed alignment, second level fighters. I mean, the entire thing is every location has this, and there's fishermen's huts here. Look, male, female, children. It's just crazy. Cottages with all the inhabitants in the cottages. There are 315 occupants in the town, which are human. So he talks about everything. Yeah.
It kind of reminds me, I don't know which one came first, probably this, but it reminds me of Knight's Dark Terror, which I ran for Mystara recently, and that goes in a lot of
11, 12.
it goes in a lot of detail about all the NPCs and families and so on and so forth. Yeah.
My guess is that they did that in ode to his style, because a lot of people tried to emulate his style.
It's like Ed Greenwood's Ascleath, the old Irish Dublin, so to speak, that the Viking Dublin that he made when he made every house is detailed and they have little subplots and stuff into it. Yeah.
This module also has a lot of rumors.
Yes, a ton of them.
It's like a whole page of it.
Yeah, it makes it easy, man, for having all the names of everyone. Look at this. Here's where you're going to encounter people in the rooms in the castle at what times of the day. I mean, that's nuts. It's all there. Crazy. Yeah. There's a lot here. This is one you just don't want to run it in 2 nights. You want to let it breathe. Hang out in the castle, hang out in the town, and you'll get to do that a lot more in L2 as well.
It's sandboxy like Hamlet is. You need to, the stories will come. They're not written in here. They will come from gameplay, so to speak.
Yep, absolutely, and rumors and things like that. So,
yeah. Len got paid by the word. Yeah, he said that several times.
He always said that he got paid well enough to do it. He had a real job. Was he an actuary? I forget what he was. He was.
No, he worked for a wholesaler in groceries and stuff. So he worked on logistics for groceries and stuff like that.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So he set up. That was it. I talked to Gary, his husband, and he worked for a lot of years, in decades. He worked in logistics of retailers and wholesalers. So shipping groceries and products for retailers. That was his thing. So
making lists.
Yep. Yep. So he organized that logistics and stuff from the 70s, or probably from this. Yeah.
And about that, he did not come out until like the second time he was on the show with us. Remember?
Yeah.
He kept,
Yep.
Which she's like, it's about time. So
yeah. Yep. So
like, cool, dude. It's all good.
Yeah, so I think he was an engineer that had then switched into working on logistics, if I understand correctly. Yeah,
try to be private a lot, and but,
so so I think his education was technical. He was an engineer by trade, by education, and then he worked in logistics and stuff like that, setting up logistic flows and stuff before they were computerized fully. And he also then started working on the computer codes and stuff on that. So yeah, until he retired.
So, let me bring this up here. Just so you know how much I hold this in. I'm not putting up the fake one, guys. There it is. There's my wall of. This is the real one. There it is. There's Bonehill. It's on my wall of fame. So a lot of other legendary adventures. So they hold this dear to me. This adventure here. Right? Yep. Yeah, I got a lot of great discussions with him. There's just all right. So that is so these are spectators in here, but notice not all those other ones. The Ghoul Sturges are nowhere to be found in the back. The Spectator's an official new one.
Yeah, but I love the. Now I need to stat out the Ghoul Sturge.
Yeah,
That's such a cool monster. It's like, yes,
really
why
disgusting.
haven't I thought about that one?
Yeah,
That's
there's
fantastic.
the Stone Guardian.
Yep.
Yeah, and he does have
Ghoul
some simple player
Sturges.
characters
Yeah.
here. And then more locations.
Someone in the chat had mentioned the map coordinates of the module. If it was in the module, I don't know about that, but I do know it's in here. B78 because I just looked it up.
Yep.
Oh, you mean on the Darlene map?
Yeah, it says
So
it's
you have the hex.
it's near Restenford on the island of Lendore.
Yeah, here.
B78.
On right in this area here. Right in that area there on Anna's map.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. So.
Which, when you're reading Darlene map coordinates, anything next to the edge is easiest to read, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the one in the middle where you have to go and follow enormous long and then diagonally across.
Yeah.
So, yep.
All right. So, trivia question. Anna and Mike cannot answer this.
Okay.
Give me the significance of that on the back cover.
I'm not sure I could answer that even if I were allowed.
Anyone?
It's Errol Otis.
It's an Errol Otis.
Yeah. Now I'm kind of curious what that actually is. It one or is it the other of what I'm thinking?
It's a Hydra.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So then you answered my question.
The answer
there.
is it appears nowhere in the adventure.
I can believe that.
Yep.
At all.
Well, they had some cool art that needed to go.
Right.
And it looks like
yes.
it was not it was not
right.
Since the Hydra is not fully there, it was a leftover piece. It was like this is something that was intended to publish somewhere else with the whole Hydra, and they just took a little cutout of it for some reason.
But you can see all the stuff that's out now at this time in 1981. Yeah. Almost everything fits on the back page of the adventure. Of stuff that's Hamlet's here. Look, S123, only A1, C12, D123, G123, no Q1 yet. So, yes, and no Temple.
And these were the years where TSR grew like crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, red herring. See, that would be something where my friends would be like, we'd play the entire module, and then they'd be like, "Hey, Mike, what happened to the Hydra?" What Hydra?
Yeah.
You know,
the one you have on. Yeah.
Why on the new map Garrettson and Restford drawn further away from each college compared to the original maps? What, they're further apart? Restford and Garrettson are I don't think they're that far apart on the map. I mean, they're here and here.
Well, it's we have so many different versions of the places that it's damn hard to figure out which one. There's no one truth to work from. That's the sad part in this. Yeah.
Right. And Len's like, he didn't care about that as long as
that overview big picture. Len was a details guy. He had every detail right, but he wasn't that keen on the overview. Wasn't he? Worked on one detail at a time and how that worked with the other details. But that kind of super overview thing, he got interested in that later on when we talked to him and stuff. But that was not his focus when he wrote the stuff.
It's a very interesting look at L1.
And also, what I'm done in here is kind of a best of. I tried to take all of it into account, and in some ways, when I did this, you have to realize this was about 15 years ago, and I didn't know Len when I did this. I hadn't read a lot of Len's material, so Lendore Isle has been high onto my list, and I've done several attempts to map it again. And I haven't really felt like I've been a good job enough. So I haven't, I've done at least 3 starts and none of them has been good enough. Now I'm starting to feel like I have the skills to actually pull it off. But it is a problem because there's so many different versions of the island. Yep.
There are.
So whatever you do, if you do the strict Len version, everybody else will tell me it's wrong because it's not in whatever source something or vice versa. So yeah.
This is considered what? The first plotline arc adventure written ever.
Okay. Yeah.
Right?
Have TSR, did they write any other similar styled adventures
Oh,
that
there's a
was
lot of
like
them.
a murder mystery?
Sure, for
Okay.
Ravenloft, there were a ton of them.
Ah,
Right?
gotcha.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. So, as you can see, different art. I don't know who's
Yep.
that artwork. Anyone know the cover for that? That
No.
artwork.
No. But you're right, Lord Forth. I will do a version of Lendore Owl that is way more Len than, and then try to fit the other stuff in there and then go from Lens. And I also want to kind of create a sort of backstory for the, but we get to that later on. So sorry,
Yeah.
we can get to that when we have
Garrettson.
time
I
over at
love
the
the
end.
name. You know, Garrett. You
Yeah.
know, yeah, assassins.
Yeah.
Uh,
French for garrot,
uh,
meaning cut the throat of
Oh,
someone. Yep.
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Stabville. Yeah.
Stabville. Yeah. So
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
this storyline, you're like right in the middle of the Baron. So the Baron of Ressenford gets killed. You're right there to witness it. All clues point to the small town of Garrett and a day's journey to the south. The Sorcerer Peltar of Ressenford has asked you to undertake a secret investigation of the crime. Can you succeed before the murderer strikes again? It's not going to be just one murderer. It would be only that. You'd only be so lucky. And this is 1983. This is heyday time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Really. This is Mulvey Basics out, right? Mulvey Basics like 81. I don't think Mentor Basics out yet. Yeah, I think Mentor Basic comes out the year after. So something in your box said about this island. Elaborate. What do you mean by that? Yeah. Assassin from Garden isn't right. Yeah, absolutely. That's the whole thing. The name of the title is like,
Yep.
well, are there any thieves here?
Yep. Yeah, Wiley, that's
Yeah.
exactly it's that wire thing with two
Yeah.
handhold. You
Mhm.
either be like two little wooden things or rings or something, and then you have some wire in between.
Yeah.
Yep.
So here's and Tim. This is for the ever mysterious Tim. Remember, actions lead to reactions. So if you're going to go out on your own as a thief, you're going to get what you deserve. See if Tim responds. I'm just busting back. So here's all the background for it. There's a lot of characters involved in this. This is tough to, as you can see. Here's your roster. And assassins are a no-no, right? Even though they exist in the player's handbook, they are a no-no, but they're great as NPCs at this time. So you got a dual class one, cleric assassin, and look at all these assassins. Yeah, look, Gimli backwards. That's funny. And he has a lot of mages here. Yep. The assassin was hired by Qualton, the canon of the Church of Falcon and Ressenford. Qualton suffers from a form of schizophrenia. He was big on mental illness in the game. Ravages of the Mind is another one he wrote that the group, that was the first one the group printed, the Lakofka Society one. And that, yeah, that was a bunch of, that guy was insane too. So, yep. Yeah. All right. So, Qualton's desire to kill the Baron and Baroness fits right into the plans of Arnis, the mayor of Garreton. She would like to see the Baron's entire line die out, including the daughter Andrella. And Arnis, as strong as surviving political leader in this part of Lenard, could then claim the town of Restonford in addition to her own town of Garreton. So we got politics at its dirtiest level in this.
Mm-hmm.
In this,
I love the illustration on page on the inner page, that title illustration when he's outside the gate there. It's so good.
Yeah.
Do you feel that this is a module that you would have to run L1 to really get
Yes.
L2?
Oh,
I think
okay.
so. I think you want to do that because you want to know these people in Westernford Castle. You want to start knowing them and getting
Yeah.
them
So they're
sending on
connected,
missions.
but not sequels, really, or something.
Right. They're connected, but you don't have to. But you really,
Yeah.
if you do run L1, you will get to know the Baron.
Ah, gotcha.
And yeah,
More
Yep.
personal, yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
He was not Len was not shy about killing characters. So, yep. Yeah. And the plot so now he's got a chronology. And that you have a time limit here basically. And here's the entire chronology of what's going to happen in this, and it's all staged out for you. So, yep, yeah. As you can see here, you got a week, and if you do not stop this guy, the entire rest of the family will be killed, and all the allies. And then it says here, characters must adapt to the new order or flee. So that means you're out. So I don't know if anyone Because has anyone run this where the bad guys win? I'm curious. This is not an easy adventure to run. I'm going to be upfront. This is not This is something you really need to know everything that's going to go on in this to DM this thing properly. So I'm not saying you can't do it, but I just found it a challenge.
Yeah, I don't feel
Go ahead.
like I could pick this up for the first time and run it. I feel like I'd have to thoroughly read it
You
and
do. You do.
absorb it, and yeah.
So this is in my top 3 of toughest adventures to run of all time. Let's see if anyone else can get the other 2 published source TSR adventures. Someone gets both of them, you can get a special to the group tomorrow night or Saturday. We'll say you got 30 seconds. This is going to be tough. I don't think anyone's going to get that. So no Barrier Peak. Barrier Peaks is easy to run. It's easy. Yeah. I don't Ghost of what? Ghost of Saltmarsh? Carman? No. I never
White
would
Plume
touch that.
Mountain would be my
What's that?
choice. White Plume Mountain would be my choice.
White Plume Mountain, no, even a return. No, nope. All right, no one's gonna get it. First one is UK 5, right? Is it 5 or 4? 5. Ravager of Time. That's a tough one. Nuala, one of the most evil characters in the world. What happens is she steals all your age and creates copies of yourself. That's a tough one. Number 2, it's technically not a GREYHAWK one. It's a trick question, and that is Ravenloft 2, The House on Griffin Hill. The entire town starts getting replaced with undead spirits in there, and you have to keep track of the whole thing. It's almost impossible to do. That's the first ever sighting of the Azael and the Lich, by the way, as well, in that adventure. They're the 2, and this one. They're tough to run. Yep. So that's a tough one. All right. So this is a murder mystery. You have to figure out what's going on. You have to blend in Garreton, which is very difficult to do. Right? It's very tough. There's going to be you're going to have a confrontation. It's just a matter of where. You're outsiders, so their eyes are on you like crazy. It's the deck is stacked against you. Yeah, that's a good one too, man. Where it comes to witching hour, Wiley. Carlos makes some tough stuff. Absolutely. And look at the level of detail. Everyone's named. Um, you're gonna have people that you're gonna know them, and people are gonna die, and you go, oh my God, Golfing's dead. So yeah. Here's the House of Abraham. That's an inn. That's some great artwork. Who did that one? Is that D? Oh,
looks like
Anna.
easily.
Is that easily?
It looks like yeah, it
Easily?
looks very much like the one in that are in
Anna,
Hamlet
what's that?
and
What's this back here?
yeah, I was going to say there's a symbol there.
That's 2 axes, it looks like.
Yeah, yeah,
2 battle
yeah,
axes.
two axes on a shield or something. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Mm-hmm. We always
and a
catch that
bear
stuff.
skin.
Yes.
Yeah, oh yeah, we found
Always
some
catch
cool
that
stuff.
heraldry.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, he's gonna try to get away. So as you can see, it's got a long. You need.
These looks like old easily. Let's see if there's a credit in the beginning here. They had the credits at the end on these early
Yeah.
modules, so I'm going to see if
Here's
I
the
can.
Church of Ostrom. It goes on and on and on.
So this module I noticed, now that we're in 83,
Yep.
it makes a mention of Osprey, Falcon,
Mhm.
Zerbo, and Court,
Yep.
which are all Lin, deities. For by now
Yeah.
he's really established.
But they are
Yeah.
not. Are they all in the 83 box set? I don't think so.
Those four, yeah.
They are. They are in the 83 box set. Okay, the Soul
Yeah.
Gods are. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's the credits for the module are design Lakofka, development editing John Pickens, cartography
John
Stephen D.
Pickens from last
Sullivan,
time.
and special thanks to Alan Hammock, Harold Johnson, and Frank Menser. But there's no mention of the interior art.
And there's no signatures on them.
It's pretty easily yes.
Yeah, I think
Looking at
it's
it.
yeah, I think so too. Early Easleys. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that one's not that hard either, man, because you just unless you want to start adventuring on the side worlds, that's when you could have some problem. It's not too bad either. The Theater of Mystic Celebration, like I said, look at the level and look at all the characters. I think there's a murder attempt here too. Yeah, running. He talks about how to run the theater, running the house. Oh my gosh, as you can see, and there's Arness, baddie. Talus is the bad, cleric assassin dual class. That's a nasty combination. Whole person is you're dead, So whole listing as you keeps on going. Oh, there's a ton of assassins. Just might as well do all the look. Every orc is named. Where does that happen anywhere else?
Yeah. You know what else
Yeah.
is interesting about that list? That's the castle guard.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
They have
Garreton,
individual
Garreton. Yep.
stats and
Yep.
I'm
names
just saying,
and everything. Yeah.
orcs and demi-humans and everyone working together here.
He was kind of an equal opportunity
Yeah.
person. Everyone gets
Yeah.
the same treatment.
Yeah.
Every NPC monster has a name and a individual stat block and stuff. So yeah.
Here we got a gnome assassin here too, which I love. Castle guard duty table. Like here's the locations, whether they're paying attention or not. The percent to see that if they're concealed or not. Holy jeez. This is not an adventure where a group of paladins are going to walk into town and they're going to go, we're going to take out everyone, because it's just not going to happen. You need to have a lot of stealth. You better have some druids, thieves, a lot of spellcasters. Yeah. She is, yeah, this is, I believe.
I must say the art is really good in this module.
It is.
I love these. That guy that was like wizard-like guy that was sitting in a chair, leaning back and stuff. It's great art.
Yeah. He loved intelligent magic weapons too. So do I. Excuse me. I love him.
Yeah.
Yep. It's not a short event module as well.
It's way longer than Hamlet was, that was published just a few years earlier.
Yeah, absolutely.
But they also got a bigger budget now. When this one came out, the money increased, so they had bigger. I guess the people demanded more, so to speak. They got way more money behind them.
Yeah, there's Arness. He's the baddie too. So like these guys are like, and if you're going in as second level characters, you're gonna get your butts kicked. It says levels 2 to 5. You need to be on the level 4 and up. 3, 4. Yep. So, oh my gosh. And here's ending the adventure. So, yep. The climax will probably be a raid on the castle to disrupt the guild and destroy Telish's plans and to capture and kill him. The players are close to the answer, but aren't strong enough or deviant enough to get the castle. The DM may allow them a chance to stop Telish on the way to Ressenford. Failing this, the party can get a message to Peltor before Andrella can be assassinated. So there you go. And then if you have a copy of Bone Hill, final confrontation with the Canon Qualton may be arranged. Such a conclusion would certainly use the details of Major Castle provided in L1. So there's a connection there. Finally, the DM should give some thoughts on the effects of this adventure on the town of Garrett, and if the party succeeds, some other NPC will have to take over as mayor. If they fail, RNS will probably move to Ressenford with Tellish, and someone else will take over in Garrett, and the DM should use the outcome as some future adventures. So, Cloak of Etherealness, protection from charming, huge, very powerful item. Especially, look at this, +7 to save versus hold spells. Nuts. And here's this Guardian Blade. Yeah. Pre-rolled characters for you. Yeah. And then a map of the area of Garreton. All detailed. Look at the level of this. Character's notes. I mean, he's huge on his notes, and he's huge on. You can immediately go to something
that castle.
and know who's there. What's that?
So I like that castle floor plan.
Yeah. Very basic, but very well done and easy to use. I could put that up on using Miniature Building Authority on my table. That castle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yep. And then is the area map. Yep. And there's Andrella. She's bad. Andrella looks pissed off there. So you go. And if you want someone murdered, go to Garreton. Is common saying in Ressenford. 1983. This is on This adventure made the top 30 top adventures of all time in Dungeon Magazine about 20 years ago. That was done. This is the one that made it for Len, not Bone Hill. So Merp modules, yeah. But the thing with this is it's got a storyline to it. It's got a plot arc. It's got a time frame you have to do things in.
That had to be why it got picked.
Yeah, had a lot
because it's innovative.
Yeah, it was very the word, that's the right word, Mike. It's innovative for its time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, L2. Great one. Okay, so with this, these two, and we'll go back to the map here. Because Len does a lot of stuff, a lot of combat, and a lot of invasions and stuff. So he has here's Len Ressenford 575, and then here's Ressenford 576. See, destroyed and down buildings are starting. There's fighting going on, and then 577. Yeah, it starts getting repaired. So, yeah, he had it year by year. Oh, Anna, you see this in the upper right hand corner? Have you used this?
I created it.
Oh, you created that.
He took it from my stash.
Oh, awesome.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
I did not know
I
that.
didn't create the design, but it's my shield, so to speak. I think someone else put together a design for Living GREYHAWK or something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. So he had some.
Or maybe I created it. I'm not sure now if I created the design outright or if it was Living GREYHAWK. I think it was Living GREYHAWK, if I remember correctly. Yep.
So, any questions so far? Look, we're an hour through already. It's crazy, isn't it? Remember, exclamation point drawing to get in. Whoops, wrong button there. Sorry. Get in on the.
I'd like to point out that Anna was reading them credits earlier, and John Pickens was on there, and that's one of them guys we mentioned
know
in the
about
Treasures of GREYHAWK.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's good to see. So he was doing coordinating of stuff in the early 80s, 83 and stuff. Yeah, it was 18's about. Yeah, that's it. That's it. It was 18 out of 30. So Yes, this is
Yeah.
Deep Dwarven Delve. Now this is
I
only
think it's a Naga. Yeah.
Naga. You can only get this one place. This came in the 25th anniversary edition silver box set. So this is from 1999.
Was it 97, 98, 99, something like that? Yeah.
99 this came out. Let me just see if that's correct on the date. It'll probably be in the back here.
99. Yep.
Yeah, 99. So
Yep.
they asked him
Yep.
to do this, to create L3 for this, a brand new adventure in that box set. And then he wrote it, and then they didn't like the ending, and they rewrote the ending, and he went nuts.
Yeah. He was written originally. He wrote the manuscript in 79, and then now it published properly
right.
in,
And then all
in
this stuff
99.
happened with Gary and all, so he held on to it all that time. And they knew he had it.
Yep.
They said, "We want you to make that. Can you make this for the 25th silver anniversary edition box set?" And he did. Yeah. So Deep Dwarven Delve is completely separate from L1 and L2, but it's still on Lendore Isle.
The blurb on the first page mentions it's the last AD&D module to be published.
Right, last first edition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. For now. I mean, this is 27 years ago, right? Yeah, so 79.99 TSR, and it's got that silver anniversary edition logo there. Okay, so I'm just seeing here. This is a story here. The first Gen Con, that's what it's talking about, and that was Len. Len was at Gen Con #1. So, yep.
It's Wayne Reynolds illustrations.
Wayne
Reynolds. Yeah, he's all over this. Yes.
Yep.
This is his heyday.
In early heydays before he went to work for Paizo a lot. So yeah.
Well, he did all the Slavers stuff, which was unbelievable. Also.
Yep.
Did all those class books too, that black and white arts.
It was supposed to, L3's supposed to add badly, Lord Forth. Yeah, so he's talking Len Len got his got some of his writing in here. They let him put that in. So marauding humanoids are attacking the small towns of Restonford and Lake Farm, and normally these raids take the form of quick strike. So that is where Deep Dwarven, that's where the Restonford map of all the stuff getting destroyed is in that map. So this is only supposed to be a year after. This is in like 576 time frame. And they have there's mithril in the depths here. So it gets weird at the end of this. It's basically an old-fashioned dungeon crawl, right?
It gets weird as in you're going along and then it feels like the ending was changed.
Have you read this, Mike?
No.
Oh, no, it gets weird.
Yeah, I don't even think I have the PDF.
So yeah. And as you can see, look at this right here. So NPCs, right off the bat here, note, that's a mage. There's a barb devil here, right? Okay, but look at this. Frelpic, Dwarven Patriarch of Balzabul. So there's Dwarven devil worshippers in this thing.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Did they delve too deeply? They did something.
They dug too. Yeah, they did something. Yep.
Yep. So, and this map is a tough one. Len did staged encounter areas on it. So
and it has elevation lines.
Yes, it does. Yeah, it has it all of it. Look, I mean, look at this. So it is, yeah. So it's basically mapping out areas in the mind, right? Different shaft areas.
So is that more like a flow chart than an actual?
Kind of, yeah.
Kind of a combination between a map and a flow chart. Yeah, both of them are.
Both of them. Yep. Yeah, and he was always trying to do different things. So, yeah. See
So
if I
that would be another sign of an engineer, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Here is the Nagas in here, right there, from the front cover. That is definitely Wayne
Oh,
Reynolds.
yes, and it looks so cool.
Yeah, there's War.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's the Dwarven Helm of the Master Miner. It's one of the main items.
The Ghostly Smith.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not short.
I like the sound of this adventure a lot, so to
Yeah,
speak. It's
well,
cool.
we'll get to the
Dwarven devil
starts.
worshippers and
Yeah,
it's kind of yeah.
it gets bad. Dwarven
Mm-hmm.
zombies are all over the place because they've animated a lot of them. Here's another crazy picture. Yeah, you can see there's a lot going on here. I think that's a demon. Yeah, more Wayne Reynolds art, early Wayne Reynolds art, which is great. All right, so here's where it gets interesting. So I know the background story on this. Um, as you can see, that I think that looks, is that a special golem?
Yeah, it looks
It,
cool.
it looks like
Yeah.
a bronze golem miniature from Reaper. I
Mm-hmm.
don't remember
Maybe
100%.
use that. Maybe use that as a reference
Yeah,
for
because that it looks just
when you
like it.
paint it.
I have it
Yeah.
downstairs.
Or
Oops.
vice versa. Maybe the miniature was a reference to this,
Yeah.
homage to it. Yeah.
All right, I'm looking for the ending here. All right, here's the Temple of Bazalbul. So there's an entire temple structure down here. Now the ending is kind of becomes anticlimactic. Len wanted Bazalbul to show up, and they said no. Okay, that's crazy. That's too hard. Right, but and so the it's just a lemur that pops up, and I'm like thinking to myself, what? You know, so you got to change this.
Yeah.
So
But
like,
it
yeah,
yeah, sorry.
you got it, Anna.
I was going
Right,
to say
right,
it also
yeah.
sounds suspiciously like Ballsy. Remember the devil that in Rossi's and stuff? It sounds suspiciously like Ballsy.
But they didn't let Len finish his what he wanted to do, right? And that was well, if you're gonna mess around in this place, you're gonna actually summon the devil, the main devil
Mm-hmm.
himself. And they said, nope,
Yeah.
you can't do that. And this and he's like, I guess this is eight, well, no, it's the 90s, it's 99. I don't know what happened here, why they wouldn't let him do it, what he wanted to.
What level are the adventure for?
6 to 10, I think.
Yeah, then they needed to have it to 12 to 15 or
Yeah, I
15
put
to
in
20 or
this
something.
adventure.
Yeah.
I think I'd used a pit fiend
They
instead.
should have made a sequel where they had they should have put the ending to another
Yep. Hey,
adventure for high
darling.
level. Yeah.
I don't think, Anna, after all this, that they were ever going to let Len do anything ever again, because it
I
sounded
know.
like he
Yeah.
did some
Yeah.
awful. He was really awful, according to what I've heard.
What do you mean?
Unfortunately, like with the amount of fervor and the things he called people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like he was just like out of control.
He
We're
got
talking about
angry. Yeah.
Lendore Isle and all the great works of Len Lakofka. Everyone, good to see you all. Thanks, darling, for coming in. Really appreciate it. Evil dwarves are those that allow greed to overcome their decision making. So the ending needs to be, yeah. The ending was probably messed up by the Satanic Panic movie. Now
Captain
remember,
Bone, that originally that was probably true
but
in
this is
79.
1999. This is
Exactly. By
99.
1999, that was no
Yeah,
longer true
right,
whatsoever. That was the most open-minded time of D&D ever.
right.
Was the about 2000, early third edition, and yeah, around there. Yeah.
Yeah. So look at this. This sword, this Zalko's sword, can disintegrate lawful clerics, paladins, and lawful outer planar creatures, including devils. It's pretty nasty.
Yeah.
Uh,
That should make a three-part
and here's the
adventure.
Dwarven Helm
Yeah.
of the Master Miner. I want to. I trying to think of who has this in our campaign. I know someone has this still to this day.
Get
But
off
with
my
that,
cloud. Yeah, sounds like a good starting
what?
point in GREYHAWK if you want to just
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
sure. And let me put you this way: if you don't want to be that remote, if you want to be able to interact with other places, you can move it. you can move Westenford and Garreton to any look, into the Nyrond or wherever. It doesn't matter. Furendi, in a human community somewhere, you could move it. Keeland even. Um, but it's way removed. So, but it's a great.
Mhm.
Like I said, this is a really good adventure. I know the ending is weird. He was trying to create kind of what happens in G3 with the Elder Elemental God Temple, if you've ever been in that. And if you do anything wrong in there, you're going to get killed. And we'll go over to G series in a couple weeks, by the way. We're waiting for Mike for that, right, Mike? The setup, yeah. When we'll do the G series. All right, so this is L3. It's available in PDF. You can get it as a reprint off drive-through. I give them out all the time. In fact, I gave one out like a week or two ago. But it is and let's see, there's nothing on the back here. But this was Leonard's third adventure. Delve into and those are the 3 official ones. So
Yep.
Gary left TSR. Len didn't want to have anything to do with it during the second edition era.
Oh yeah, he stayed on the Gary's faction, so to speak,
Yeah.
and stayed
Right.
friends with Gary. So yep.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, now this stuff is available on Dragon's Foot to this day. Dragon's Foot, I guess .com. You can still find it. I had them. So thank you all for coming in. We are doing Classic D&D reprints tonight. Whoops, wrong button there, and I wanted to what I hit there. Jeez. The giveaway is going. Exclamation point drawing. Feel free to get in. For all those who are reading in, thank you very much, darling. All right, ruling, suggestions, information, and calendar, including a suggested party with their introduction. This is L4. So this is Len doing stuff unofficially and putting it on. I don't even know what the year is. Early 2000s.
This
2009.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not that
Oh
long
yeah.
ago.
Yeah.
Yep.
2009.
It's like BBC. You have Roman numerals for the year.
Yeah, I remember this because I was in Cannon Fire starting to contribute, and then Dragon's Foot is going on at the same time. And I'm thinking, should I be over at Dragon's Foot? Yeah, I never really contributed.
I went in there, downloaded it when it came out, but I
Thank you,
wasn't really
Grandpa.
active on
Hey,
Dragon's
GREYHAWK
Foot.
Bard.
Yeah. So I never. There was cool stuff on Dragon's Foot. In fact, some of the early Troller Games stuff when it was I didn't know what Castles and Crusades was on Dragon's Foot. Very very early. But so this is just going to give you a lot of stuff of Len's thoughts here. So look, on training, he was very very. If Gary wrote it, it was verbatim for him. So I'll tell a quick story. I was streaming. Len was intrigued. And I said, Len, why don't you come on as a special? This is before Ed played or anything like that. And I really had not done any super special guests at the point yet. I said to him, Len, why don't you come on and play one time just to see if you like it or not? And he's like, cool. Could I do a cleric of Ouija? I'm like, of course. And as a matter of fact,
Play anything.
As a matter of fact, I have a specialty priestess of Ouija, second edition. No. I want a cleric of Ouija. That's all I want. I don't want any of that second edition shit. I'm like, oh my god. And then he started talking to me about how I had to use speed factor and I had to use this and I had to use that. I was like, Len, I'm DMing this. It's my game. And he just kept on arguing with me. And I was like, okay, well, this isn't going to work. So he never played. I mean, yeah. Len was set in his ways, which is,
yep.
I'm a slacker, thanks to him. Yeah. Yep. Clerks of Fight. There's a lot of general stuff in here, but this is all free. There's a new spell, Growth Cycle. Len did a lot of cool. Just his. All right, here's the Missing God, Aquaman. he was fixated with Aquaman. I don't get it. So he probably would have liked the movies. God of Storm and Life of the Sea. But Aquaman, if we go here to his Lendore gods list. All right. Here are all the major lesser gods up here, right? And then let's see.
And
Lendore gods.
Aquaman.
All right. That's page 2. Let's go to page 3. There he is. He's all the way back in this time. By the way, Len was had Bahamut Tiamat as gods in his soul deities list. There you go. So he had Aquaman back then too. In fact, on his notes page, he's down here too at the very bottom. There he is, Aquaman. He's on here. So we should have asked who nixed this Aquaman. I'm curious. I'm curious if anyone knows. It was probably a major editor like Jim Ward or someone. Like, no way.
Hammock winner, maybe.
Yeah. So he's talking about Aquaman. Call Lightning.
Well, he also never appeared in Dragon.
What, Aquaman? No, they didn't let him go. They did not let him.
Yeah, so it was cut way earlier.
Yeah, they were not letting. He was not in the soul deities. They're like, nope, this one. Every single other one got passed through, right? All of them, and they're all fantastic. Beltar, Ouija, Sabrul, right? Falcon.
And then that one silly god would have kind of messed it all up.
Kind of a joke. Yeah. If he had just changed the name, he probably could have gotten it through.
Yeah, but he did, like you said, Len didn't want to change the name.
Yeah.
Yep.
Len was set in his ways. It's just funny. It's just funny that he was set in his ways. He would not do it. Wargar, new creature. So ships and laws at sea. That's early on that too. There. Well, not really. 2009. So he's got a lot of stuff about ships in here, Mike. Look, he's got punishments for being on the boat. Fight on the deck.
Nice.
5 to 10 lashes for the person starting to fight.
Hey, I can use that.
Wow, there's a lot of lashes in this thing. Theft from a sailor, 2 to 20 lashes. Oh man. Starting a fire in a ship, usually beheading, but sometimes lashes. That's awesome. So he tries to throw where major cities are. Oh, that's right, because this one's a travel one, if I recall.
And you have climate and stuff, weather and things. Yeah.
And you have is that deck of many things? Oh, yep, he's got his own deck of many things. Oh.
The Hanged Man, the Hermit. This is cool. There's it's his version. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And there's a ship. I can't say that. Sior, Gale. That's got to be Gaelic, right? CIR. Right here, the ship. Shegel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. How do you say that? Yeah.
Sjork Selgar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sjork Selgar. Yeah, the shark hunter. Okay. Yeah.
Lots of detail. All right. There's multiple downloads here, everyone. This is just So he's got another adventure coming up.
And this is the Lendore companion you're in, not
companion. Yeah. So look, here he's got stuff detailed out for Gradsel here. So you're going to travel from Gradsel all the way to Lendore Isle in this adventure, this part of the adventure. You're going to stop at GREYHAWK, which is kind of cool. He's got stuff here if you're using those areas.
Iron Gate.
Nice.
Yep. There's Iron Gate. Yep. And
Scant, Iron Gate, Neri, Olman Isles, Tilva Strait, Duckshin, Solvard, and Gradsel. That's a
I'm
cool
embarrassed
list.
that I never found this when I was
and the
doing this
calendar dates of the voyage. Yep.
4,680 miles.
That's a long trip. I'd go
50
insane.
days plus minus 65 days with layovers. Yep.
Yeah. I would go, and who's on this boat too? All the rooms. So, yeah. All right, that's Lendore Isle Companion. Now we come here. Here's the adventure. Devil's Spawn, L4. Yeah, a long way to paddle. But the great thing is now that like Len is creating.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the old schoolers, they wrote for other companies, right? But were they creating GREYHAWK content in this downtime? This is right after Paizo loses the license. 4th edition's out now in this when he's doing this, and he's writing all this in first still.
Yeah.
So it was good to see. All right, so and here we go. An adventure for levels 3 to 5. All right. So it's not necessary to play L1 or L2, and and here he goes. Here's a sequence of events, and once again, it's around Restonford. Restonford is attacked by a band of orcs and accompanied bugbears and ogres. So he's talking about all the things that are going to happen, and then so a new L4 play. Does it have a level on it? 6 to 10 of levels 3 to 5. So Deep Dwarven Delve is much higher level than this. So you'd probably want to run this after L2, not run L3 then L4. You'd run L2 then L4. Yep. Look, it tells you everyone who died in the castle. So you got to nix them off the chart that's in L1. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, talk about a living campaign.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got everything dated too, which is crazy. Maglubiate Hobgoblin. There you go. And there's a big battle group from Grest. He's done. I mean, Len is thorough. I mean, absolutely thorough.
Coop needs a Dragon's Foot link.
Coop needs to try. It's scroll up, Coop. Hold on. I know. Here I got it. Bard did it. I got it again here. Let me copy it. And go to the top. Yeah, it was playable. It wasn't like the others, right? It was playable. I mean, you can always make changes to it too. Yeah. I think he went too big on this one. He went for it, right? It's huge. It just goes on and on and on. And key to the hamlet of Grest. Where's Grest on your map, Anne? Is it on your map?
Which one?
Grest, Grest.
Grest. I'm not sure. No, I don't think so.
No.
Damn, okay, Grest. Yeah,
it is. Here it is.
Okay.
Here it is.
Oh, there you go. Yep.
Yeah.
Then I don't have to make any notes. Thank you.
No,
That was
no.
good. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yep, no problem.
Irish. Okay. Thank you, Mike.
It's Irish?
Yeah, not
Gaelic.
well, Irish is a form of Gaelic, I guess.
Yeah. I never heard of it. All right.
No, it's
Encounter key to Castle Grest. So he details Grest out there, and as you can see, oh my god. I mean, look, right. So I am look at how much more of this. There's 136 pages for this thing.
Yeah. Meaning now he's not constrained by TSR editing and publishing numbers. He can just he write all the stuff he wants and it's digitally published.
Oh
so if
my
you
gosh.
have 20 pages more, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Minions sent by Norville. Holy jeez. This
Yeah.
looks like
Here we got Len in full swing here. So yeah.
So this is central Lendore Isle area.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my god. Where's Grest? Okay. Very 90s, late 90s-ish, early 2000s-ish artwork, right? Map
Yep.
making. Color, all in color though. Is that campaign
Yep.
cartographer? It certainly looks like it.
I wouldn't be surprised if it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it is. That's the Abbey of Phaeton, yeah.
Oh yeah, it is. I recognize it
Yeah.
now. The scale and
All
stuff.
right.
So yeah.
So, oh my God, that thing's huge. Yeah. Okay. Let me, so I don't, let me bring up L5. L5 has 4 download pack PDFs. The Croton maps, L5A, which is the Croton campaign guide, L5B, which is the Croton adventures, and
Fantastic illustrations in this one.
L5C is the Croton campaign companion. So I don't even know what the, yes, yeah. Map. So they separated all the maps out, which made sense. Just a separate download. Any idea who did? Does it say who did all these? Andreas
I'm not sure.
Claren, lead editor layout. Brian
Andreas
Fischer.
Clarin. Yeah, he's the German guy that did stuff like this.
Okay.
Yeah. He worked for him quite a bit.
Yeah. Lots and lots of maps there. That's cool looking.
Yeah.
Temple Pyremus. Castle Croton. All right, so there are the maps. Croton campaign guide. This thing is 156 pages.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my goodness. Mm.
Do you think Len had this stuff and he'd been writing it for years and he's like, finally, I got a place to put this? Or do you think he just went, I blasted this all out over the course of a year? I mean, my gosh, that's pretty, yeah, it's nuts. Oh my God, look, the streets are in this town and every this right, every location in this town is marked. Look at it.
Yeah.
Outside of Croton. Holy jeez. North edge of the Croton Forest. Appendix. Holy jeez. Okay, well, we're not gonna. Here's the Croton Adventures. This one's only 96 pages. Yeah. Unbelievable, isn't it? Wow. All right, so some rules involved in this one, as you can see, and then Fane of Pyremus, and Castle Croton. So let me see if there's introduction. He actually put a parental note in there. That's pretty interesting. The supplement to Town of Croton identifies 4 major complexes are not detailed. Okay. Anyone run through these? The last 2? I know, Dat, you said you it was playable. The L4 was playable. What about this one, L5? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's crazy. How much? But it expanded out. Excuse me. You ran them forth? Okay, good. Yeah, man. All right. Hey, Wiley, thanks for coming on. All right. So look, it says the Crypt Adventure. So you got like I guess mini adventures, the Fane of Cerule, in each area. Cyril's an evil deity.
Probably what I would do, something like that that says Cyril on it. I would just like pluck stuff out of it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's pretty big. There you go. Oh, look, cost for doing healing spells and raise deads. Yeah. Interesting. All right. And the Croton Campaign Companion. Let's take a look at this. See what we got in here. All right. I like this one because it's got some magic items in it that I've used some of this stuff. And it's got a lot of miscellaneous things. There's some more spells, magic user spells in here, druid spells. Another new god, Gorkask. And then it's got gods in here that are actually not his. This is the first time I've seen him use like Celestians in here and Clangedons in here. But he's got a lot of magic items and some new monsters. So for this area, which is cool. Here. Partial elves. When two half elves have a child, the offspring could be a favorite human and elf side. Interesting. I've done that too. But didn't make up rules for it. He likes to describe everything, right? Armor, silver steel, crafted only by elves. Okay. Gorkask, lesser god of metalwork and forging. Like he talks about Celestian first time in Clangedon and Laborless Enerth. So he's added some other deities that are not his for the first time. All right. Crop care, stir. It's their levels. That's level 0. And then a whole bunch of cool new magic items. This is what I've used from him. So
if I took everything I ever wrote about all, it might be like the size of this.
Right, this is one book. Right?
Yeah.
So this I know is in my campaign because Stars Ranger Mage and Arena has it. The Ring of the Shepherd can be used only by druids and rangers. It allows the wearer to polymorph into a sheep or sheep dog 3 times per day. She has that item. I took it right out of this. Oh, let me see if I can find something neat and different, and that's what I use that. Yeah. So nobody training. She worked logistics. Yeah, but he just was. Len was an engineer. No, yeah, he was. So there's a lot of cool items in here. Really well done. Similar versus good clerics. He always liked having the bad guys have stuff. Eelgrass. Huh. I wouldn't want to. This does not sound good. Fire flame. Lesser elemental. Troll ladle. Trollish equivalent of cattle. Uh-oh, Anna. Uh-oh.
What page?
He's 23. Trollattle or trollish equivalent of cattle. They are common throughout the lower plains. They herd animals. They eat just about any type of vegetation. Given a trollish blood, they regenerate 1 hit point per turn.
No.
Wow, that's awesome.
What are you doing?
Trollattle. This is
What?
wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Len on the
only
fire.
cow you will ever need.
Yeah, trolladdles.
I said it's the only cow you will ever need.
Yeah, exactly. This is so fun. This is awesome. Trolladdle, trollish equivalent of cattle. Yeah.
All right. Now, all right. So that's a lot of his stuff. Now I'll tell a quick story.
Troll bovines. This is awesome.
That's okay. L5C, the Croton Campaign Companion. So that there's 4 in L5. There's 4 books. 4 downloads. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
4. Wow.
Yeah. There's the map book, map pack, campaign guide, adventures, and campaign companion. So yeah, like I said, Len did a lot of stuff. Now, I'll say this: 2019, or maybe it was early 2020. It was during, I think it was during COVID. Len wanted to do L6, and he had an idea. He had an idea for in the north, Falconville, and up here. All right. That there would be an invasion of giants from the mountains up here. And I said to him, "Well, Len, do you have any ideas on this?" And he's like, "Yeah, just but I don't know how much time I have left. I would love to get it published." So I actually got him in a meeting with Chuck and Stephen Chenault from Troller Games. We had one meeting. And were you involved in that?
Nope.
Yeah. So Len and I met with them. This. I gotta say it's probably early 2020. Probably during COVID. I'm working from home. I got a lot of time on my hands. So I'm like, well, let's see if they're interested. And they were, and Stephen was very interested. But remember that last year, Len was sick a lot, right? And
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
So I said to him, I
Yeah.
said, well, do you want us to start writing up some background and stuff?
Now I remember a little bit. We talked about it, but I was not in on the meeting, if I remember
Right.
correctly.
You weren't
So
in on
yeah.
the meeting, but you may
Mhm.
have been on, like, we
Yeah.
needed someone to do
Oh yeah.
more
We
detailed maps
talk.
and
Yeah.
stuff.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. So it didn't get beyond that first meeting, but he wanted to write L6. He
He
knew
wanted
his
to do so much stuff, but he was not.
no
He
his
was not. He was
cancer
not
was
well
really
enough to. Be,
he was
yeah.
losing the battle. He was losing,
Oh
more
yeah,
and more
and
and
he
more.
had one spat early on in the 2000, what was it, like 9 or 10, 12, something like that for some years. And
Yeah,
then he recovered and he was
right.
doing much better. And then he relapsed again like 4 or 5 years after that and then passed away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was a shame that it didn't
Yeah.
go anywhere, but I tried
Yeah. And
at
he
that
really
point.
wanted to. It's not
Yeah,
that he didn't want to. It was
right.
just that he was not up
He
to it
was
physically
no,
and
he was
mentally the
not.
last couple of years. Yeah.
And it's a shame because, who knows what would have been, but
Yeah.
like it was
Hmm.
discussed. It didn't get anywhere beyond that. But,
Yeah.
you know, um, the group, the society group, the Leonard Lakofka archive has found a lot of adventures.
Hmm.
There are a lot of them that have been found. I think there's
Yeah.
one coming out for GaryCon this year.
Yep. There's work on one more.
Is this
Yep.
unplugged? Yeah, yeah, it is. 1 second here. There's one more. So we'll see that at GaryCon. Every year we've seen 1 to 2 come out, which is really cool. We'll see what comes out. I'm excited about it. We know that there's a couple adventures missing that he ran at Gen Con.
Yes, we have a couple that we know are named, but we don't have them,
Right.
so to speak, and
Yeah.
no one seems to have them. There's a couple of them available on my
Yeah.
website as well as Cannonball Publishing. So yeah.
Yeah. I know Minor Threat's done. Lighthouse is done. Devil's Dung, I believe, is
Yeah.
done. Yeah. I forget what. Yeah. They're all done. Yeah. Yeah. The LA ones are done. They're all done. That's Leonard Archive, LA, right? Len Archive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, they were all done. So with that, I don't. Yeah, and I want you to talk about what happened with Sargent. What he did.
Well, yeah, we had he took the he went back to the Spindrifts. He went back to the basics from the Folio and the 83 box set, where you had elves living on the Spindrifts, and then Lendore Isle was just one of the isles. And there was some vague stories in the early books, so to speak, in the setting books. Let's go back to we have the Spindrift Isles. It mentions that there's this islands in between the others, so to speak, and it's divided into two parts: the northern isles of the High Elves and the single southern Lendore Isle. That was the
Which
yeah,
it was all Elven Isles until the wizard Lendore shows up.
exactly. What happened was later on was that in From the Ashes, we get more of the backstory. He creates backstory from those two paragraphs that we had in Folio and the 83 box set that only mention Lendor. I'll mention it, and Spindrift is a thing. Then when we come to From the Ashes, it gets turned around. Lendor Isle become the entry in the list of realms and countries, and Spindrift Isles just get a footnote saying see Lendor Isle. So then it switched 180, and that's probably because uh, called Sargent and the others who wrote From the Ashes, then they had all the L modules and they had Lens Dragon articles and stuff like that. So that's when they realized the action is on Lendor Isle. The rest of the Spindrift didn't get any attention whatsoever until Living Greyhawk. That's when they get more shit, so to speak, coming their way. But so what happened here is that then they start fleshing out the backstory. So Carl Sargent and the crew for the From the Ashes, they start creating a backstory for Lendor Isle that was supposed to fit in. But they also went and reintroduced the elves into the mix and simply put like a plug. They simply said, well, all of this happens and then the elves take over. So then they wipe out Lendor Isle and let the elves take over the whole
It's
thing.
gone. It's all
Yeah,
gone.
yeah. So they acknowledge, they do two things. They acknowledge Lendor Isle and these things, saying that happened, and now the elves come back and they take over the whole thing. And so they basically put an end to that and basically becomes evil elves that just wants to take over the whole thing and kick out the people, so to speak. So I like that they tried to make a backstory to Lendor Isle. I like that part, but the elves just taking over seems to be and also I think even the backstory is a little bit half-hearted. So I was trying to, for my own campaign, if I ever go to Lendor Isle, to even think of a bigger backstory, because my biggest question in this is how come we have all this cool stuff on Lendor Isle in the first place? Why
Right.
do you seem to have we have like a full ecosystem full of monsters, NPCs, and all types of creatures, whatever, on an island hundreds of miles away from the ocean, from the coast, out into the Solnor. That's like having a full North American ecosystem on Hawaii almost. Not that bad, but on something like the Canary Islands or something that are or the Azores or something that are hundreds of miles out to sea, a few hundred miles out. Why do you have all this stuff is there? All the type monsters, creatures of all kinds and
It's
stuff.
the
So
perfect living Greyhawk region.
yeah, yeah, it's self-contained. So my idea and this is just my idea, I haven't developed it further, but my idea was to say, what if we go back 5, 10,000 years and up until early on, then the planet was much colder. It was the last ice age, and the oceans aren't. The Solnor is not that deep, going from Medegia out to Lendor Isle. What if that were like the Strait of the Bering? It was the bridge, a land bridge back then. So Lendore Isle was back a few thousand years ago. It was not an island at all. It was just part of the Flanese. That means that you get all the animals, you get all the early folks there, and also both the Spindrifts and Lendore Isles was just highlands on the enlarged mainland, so to speak. That's how the story got started. I'm thinking in that proto sense. That then you have the building blocks, and that meant that elves settled the hills, and other old Flan and other folks came in and settled it, and then the sea levels rose, and that they also rose back in the time when the before the invoked devastations and stuff. And you had the the second Seoul Empire, in my taking, the Seoul Empire that is in the Sea of Dust, they then started exploring East and stuff, and they discovered it. And that's when Lendore came there, and the Oridians then came in a little bit later because they settled the mainland, so to speak. But the elves stayed in place in those islands. They didn't abandon them. They stayed in place. That was just my idea of trying to make this work, so to speak, from a backstory, so to speak. But then if you want to go with Carl Sargent and From the Ashes, Elven takeover or not, that's up to you. And then Living Greyhawk, they just doubled down and continued the Elven realm and all that stuff, so to speak. So yeah. So
Yeah.
so that is a little bit of the
Mm,
publishing history of Greyhawk. So
mm,
of Lendore Isles. So from a Greyhawk publishing history over the decades, Lendore Isle was like a few decades of Len having that, and then they put a lid to it in From the Ashes and say, well, now that's period over. Now it's an Elven realm, blah blah, and stuff. And the Living Greyhawk continued. So I liked some of what Carl Sargent did, trying to build a history for the Lendore Isles, but I didn't like what he took it. But I like I endorse the effort of trying to build a backstory to Lendore Isle, because that's what I'm lacking, is that you have this cool mini setting, but we don't know where it came from because Len didn't seem to bother much. He just put cool stuff in there and that was it.
Treats the Elven takeover as a ruse, Alderon. See,
Yeah.
remember, I don't like the frickin' all the elves are going to go there.
Yeah, exactly. And that was
Like the
part
Pelennor
of Carl
Fields.
Sargent
Oh
wanted an
god.
elven place where all the elves could
Oh god,
escape
drove
to
me
and go
crazy.
to. So yeah,
That's not
so like the
Greyhawk.
Tolkien land across the sea kind of thing,
Yeah.
and so on. So he turned it into that. I still like the idea of that elves were there and stuff like. I don't go against that, but I don't like the Tolkienization of elves that much, that they
No.
have like they go to that particular place over the ocean. That's a bit too much Tolkien for me in Greyhawk.
Yeah. I prefer the Greyhawk elves that, oh, they live a long time, but they can die of old age. I mean, I've never seen an elf die of old age in the game
Yeah, then maybe they
ever,
can't. Yeah,
but they
maybe
can.
some do. Yeah, some
Yeah, and
don't.
but and
Yeah,
it may be very private or whatever. It's just,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, a big fakery. So
yeah,
rest of, all the rest of for all of them are still there. I don't know.
yeah.
It
But
could
but it
be. It's just
yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
I don't
but
like
I
either of the
like,
stories.
yeah,
Okay.
but I like to try and bring Lendor Isle more integrated into the setting with a backstory and stuff like that. That kind of that to me is something that I miss. That if I use Lendor for my campaign and the Spindrifts, I want to build more of an ancient backstory, so I know where Lendor came from and all the stuff happens, so to speak. Because there are cool, lot of cool stuff there, but a lot of that cool stuff probably doesn't come from nowhere, so to speak. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so my suggestion is that if you want to adventure there more and build your
Funny
campaign there, you
Patrick.
need to start figuring out how much of this do you want to detail for your campaign, or do you just want to run the modules and not think about the big picture? That's perfectly fine too. Yeah.
It's just like I said. It's a matter of what you want to do in your campaign.
Yep.
Um, it's very remote to begin with, so
Yeah.
um, the elves need more love in the setting. They seem to take a beating in every war. Well,
Yes, I agree. They need more love. Yes.
do you guys not watch my shows? I mean, my whole thing's elven based,
Yeah,
right?
but they need more kind of organized love, so to speak, in that sense
From
that they
who?
more from meaning that they are, we don't have much of meaning humans. We have lots of cool backstories, and we have the from the migrations and all sorts of stuff. We don't have much of that for the elves. They're
See, I
just there.
disagree. I love the Tommy John's Kelly's writings on the hateful wars and all really
Oh,
go
oh
into.
yeah, but that's modern history. That's like
Oh
50 years ago. That
no, it's
that that
150,
Yeah,
120 to
but
150.
that's nothing. That's not even half an elven
Yeah,
generation. Meaning, for
yeah.
someone who lives for hundreds of years, what happened? Where were they 5,000 years ago?
I don't care.
No, I know that, but I do. That's the difference. That's the difference.
uh,
That's why I mean. That's why we don't have much of the
Right,
elves. Yeah.
right, yeah.
Because there's so many hints. Meaning we have so much cool elven stuff in Vesvi. We have it in Veluna, Celine and Sundi
Yeah,
and stuff, and we have Adri and those backstories. A few like
yeah.
little hints at some cool elven past
Right.
that I think deserves way more cool development, so to speak.
I have no problem with that.
Yeah.
I am it's a fantasy setting, and you don't
Hmm.
need to explain I know we're different on that. Every
No,
single
but you
detail of
need
the
to explain as
background.
much as you want for your game and you
Right,
need for your
right,
game. And
yeah,
what that level is, that's very individual for each
right.
game table, so to speak.
And
Yeah.
I had a major war with the elves of Selene and the Pomars and through the Sus, where thousands of them died.
Yeah.
So I've beaten up the elves myself. Tim was
Hmm.
involved in a lot of it, and Walt and all, and we had a lot of fun with it. And yeah, um, but like there's two, like if you do the elvish history, the dwarvish history, the gnomish history, the halfling history, there's no way it's all going to intertwine and be perfect with all the other stuff going on. It's too
No,
much.
that's the hard, and I love the
Yeah,
challenge to try, and it's like
yeah,
making lemonade out of lemons in
yeah.
that sense. And I
I
love
know.
that challenge, which I think it's a fun challenge to try. And okay, this is the picture we see. How the hell did that happen, so to speak? I love to try
I
and
understand that, but
back. Yeah.
I'd rather write stuff that we're working on now. You know
Hmm.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
I have
stuff.
too much time on my hands. That's my problem. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. There's no halfling history. It's a source that doesn't.
Exactly. We don't
Fine,
have
I don't care.
much. Yeah. Yeah, we don't have
There's
much.
no gnome
Yeah.
history either.
No,
So
exactly. The
yeah,
gnomes and if elves are neglected, but gnomes and halflings are even more
right.
neglected than elves, and
Yeah,
dwarves likewise. Yeah.
yeah. I don't. Like I said, yeah. I just don't. I don't need to spend too much time on it. I just whatever's happening now is good enough for me. But that's
Hmm.
getting off on a soapbox there. So no gnomes are good gnomes. That's funny. Um, any other questions? Look at that, it's 8:51. Mike, you're
Yeah.
kind of quiet this time. So you haven't seen any of this stuff.
I downloaded that Dragon's Foot stuff probably
Oh,
back
good.
when it first came out.
Right.
And then
But
So,
just
yeah.
which means I haven't looked at it in
right.
nearly 20 years.
Yeah. I know, I
Uh,
know. It's something
and I
you can
didn't
only
own the
look at
L
it.
modules till
What's that?
recently.
Hmm.
L1 and 2, I did not own those till recently.
Wow. Yeah.
Uh,
It's
yeah.
cool. I mean, there's nothing wrong at all. I love L1. I love the way it was written, the setting, it's got some quirks in it. It's got some really neat things you're not, you got to be careful. You're gonna seriously hurt yourself by drinking one of those potions. Good monsters, good storyline. Some weird quirks in there, like the Church of the Big Game. Um, Characters that are very suspicious, right? They could be good. They could be on your side or not. I mean, he did a lot of really good writing in that. And then L2 is what it is. It's a really cool time-based plot line story arc. It's tough to DM, but it's worth doing at least once in your life. So, um, yeah, cool. Gnomes are failed dwarves. That's funny. That's funny. So, gnomes are interesting. Like I said, when we first started, I started in '78. Paul Basic, there were no gnomes at all. So when AD&D came out, I'm like, what's this? There's gnomes. There were no, right? Because everyone was a class. Right? Dwarves were a class. Dwarves were a fighter. Halflings were a fighter. There were no halfling thieves. Halflings were fighters, and elves were fighter mages. Yeah, there you go. Uh, and Lower Atomer's not really, like I said, Len did not touch it. I don't think in any of the publications. Correct? He's like, I'm not ever. He was tainted because it was moved. So was L1 the first sandbox at B2? No, no, it was not. Hamlet is. Helmet's first one. Good question, though, Greg Bird. Helmet's a sandbox. Yeah. Halflings live in Elmshire. Well, yeah, there's halflings in a lot of other places.
That's the history.
Yeah, halflings live in Happy Springs, if you've seen my map. In fact, we have a new halfling from Happy Springs coming Saturday. Yep. Poppy Greengrass. I won't ruin it for you. It's Myriad's character, Poppy Greengrass, and
From Happy Springs. That come
yeah,
on, that's yeah. That
I
could be a
know.
commercial for certain type
Annie,
of
you put it
products.
on my
Awesome.
map.
Yeah.
There. You put it on the map for me.
Yep.
There it is, Happy Springs.
Mm-hmm.
Right there. Yeah. Bad things have always happened to halfling communities, so a lot of bad things have happened in Happy Springs. Yes. Well, sneak peek this for y'all. Custom artwork from Myriad for, there you go. I mean, you couldn't even see the Happy Springs one because I didn't have it on that page. There you go. There's Poppy Greengrass.
Wow.
Halfling, yes. She did downstream last night.
Cool, cool.
Clark Thief. Clark, especially Priest of Clark, Brandabar's Thief.
Nice.
Yep. So there you go. Yep. And there's Happy Springs. Right there. Yeah. Throughout, not too far from Altamira. All right. There was more to explore in Sandbox and L1 than Hamlet. L1 is a lot more to explore. Correct. But Hamlet is the first sandbox.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely correct. L1 has a lot more to explore. Yes. And a lot more encounters outside of like Hamlet doesn't have a lot of random encounters outside. I agree. Like I said, but I love both of them. Yeah. Well, I didn't name the character. You can talk to Myriad on that on Saturday morning. It's her character. Said this is a brand new group, and that's why we session zeroed on Monday night. Yep. So we're gonna have some fun. And I have the NPC. I don't want to give it away. I can't give it away, but his first name is Mitch. Which I stories waiting for. You're still on that, Sam? Sam, it's over. It's over. It doesn't matter. Lendore Isles, whatever you want to make of it. You want to make it conquered by gnomes? Go ahead. Have at it. Have the gnomes conquer it instead of the elves next time. Yeah. Yeah. Moose. Yeah, I think she went green grass. I went with what did I say? I forget what it was, but it's yeah. Any other commentary or questions? I'll do some more shout outs. Mike, what's going on with you if oh, you gotta have something new, right? Mike, you have a new yeah. All right, let me go. Hold on a second.
I got 2 new comics today.
Damn, I've been yeah.
GREYHAWkery. All righty, I'm here. Awesome. All right. So you have.
So I'm going to be running 2 comics every Wednesday, probably through GaryCon.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. All right, so here we go. This is Underhold, leaving Underhold.
So the last episode, the Underdark denizens ran into the elf who's on the run. And they patched her up and they're escorting her out of the city.
So so the dude in front gets splatted by a spider and killed, right?
We'll see.
What is that? A dart hit the
Dart?
Dart hit the mushroom guy.
Yeah.
The
Mike
fungus guy.
Yeah.
And then what is that? Is that a shadow demon?
Yep.
And what is that guy? He's something.
The blue one?
Yeah.
A blue goblin? What could that possibly be? It's a Zvart.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
So they're getting waylaid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh
they
no.
got waylaid. Yeah.
Awesome. That's what
it goes off the rails from here. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Smurf.
A Smurf. Right.
No, Norker. That's funny too. All right, now cultists. Oh, look at the pictures. Is that Morning Cannon? Which one is
No.
Curzit? In this new edition of Earth, your confusion is understandable. You see, the renegade seeker Eli Tomarast, that's who he is, made a bargain to have his hands replaced with demon claws. Picture.
I
I
want
don't.
demon claws.
Interesting. Curzit has tentacle arms, much like the demon prince Demogorgon. Tentacles. Hey, will you quit messing around? Constrictor arms. Oh my god.
See, they can have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So even cultists can have fun. Yep.
Oh, that's great.
But yeah, could you imagine one of them cultists with like finger knives and
Mhm.
That's awesome.
extendable arms?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Very cool, man.
Oh, yeah. Hey, thanks for sharing the comic with your group, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Alrighty.
That's right.
So there we go. Ooh, what's gonna happen? Because you said it goes off and maybe get a nice big fight. No, I do no. My voice goes enough as it is. Alrighty. So, Anna, what's up with you?
I haven't posted anything yet for number of reasons, some good and some bad. Let's do the bad first. Well,
Uh-oh.
bad, depending on see. I've been a Josh minion for a couple of days, finishing off a
No!
project for GaryCon that kept me up. But it was something that I promised to do and was something that needed to be done. And now that it's mostly done, so now I get a respite from that for a bit.
Okay.
And also, I got another good news here that that I got a big cool dump of awesome stuff from Braggy, heraldry and stuff that I'm
Oh, wow.
going to touch up and work on too. So got a lot of cool stuff there. So to work from, so to speak, some cool designs and stuff that I'm going to make high res versions of. A lot of cool stuff there. And also, I realized I needed to do more base work on the banners. And I also realized I could do forests way better on the map. So I needed to sit and research that for a few days. So it's coming. There's stuff coming, but I simply got distracted with good and bad stuff, so to speak. So
Good
that
and bad?
yeah, oh yeah, good stuff. When people give me ideas and things to work from, that is fantastic. I just love that. And it was a huge dump, so I had to go through a lot of cool stuff in there, so to speak. And then I got some ideas for improving, so I needed to start acting on them right away. So but there will be there will be stuff coming soon. Yeah. So I'm
Awesome.
sorry about the delay, but it was part of learning and figure things out, so to speak, and make it better. Yep.
All right, so I'm gonna tonight. I'm gonna do Treasures and Mordenkainen's Fantastic Adventure. If you have them, I have an Eye of Doom here as well, so I'll just hit them out for the giveaway. But what's going on the rest of the week? Please note once again, Gavin will be postponed one day till Monday night. Ah, la 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 la. Here we go. Scenes for tomorrow night, staged, of course. Here's the adventuring group. It's a small group, only 5 characters. So we have Kazara and Skarn. So we got Myriad and Mike Disney, and then Tom's got 2 characters: Thomas the Younger and Crane Tar, the half ogre, and then I have an NPC. I have Kendra the retriever here, and that is they're inside. They're near a what is ruined temple of Vaprak. Yeah, somewhere in the hidden off in the mountains, and that is Abode of the Brothers, adventure number 1165 tomorrow night. I just made up a name for Tom. Cool Hand Tom. I don't know. I just made that up. I threw him up on there as he's my only regular playing tomorrow night. So, and I'll be at 7 o'clock. Hopefully, we'll get that one done, and then is the tomfoolery. That's a good one too. I'll let him choose what a nickname. We never gave him one. But Saturday morning is going to be the big one, and it's just called A Stealthy Extraction, new group. We'll see what they name them. Tiffany Rose Nickel. And Amanda changed her name to Show Me the Dice, because she's the Dice Goblin Queen. So she knows it all. Myriad and Bella, all with brand new characters that are all done from that session 0 on Monday. We have an Archer, full elven Archer. We have a half elf Mage Thief. We have that halfling Brandabaris Priest Thief, and we have a Dwarven Shield Thane, all female. And then we'll see. Yeah, there you are. Show me the dice. There's Amanda. Yep. And then we'll have nice name. I love that name. And then we'll have an NPC, which I'm trying not to give it away. I don't want to give it away, but that'll be on Saturday at 11 to 3, and then Gavin will probably be next Monday night. Monday was really successful. We had a huge audience, so we'll continue that.
Yeah.
Figure out a Gavin topic for Monday. We've had guests 3 straight weeks. Maybe I'll be able to wrangle a guest. So that's great. I'm glad to see you've been here. Awesome. So anyone else with any final thoughts or questions before we do the giveaway here?
Yeah.
That'll be it. So we got a lot. 2 great games coming up. Hey, Sithy. Anyone else? All righty. Mike, Anna, appreciate it tonight. Another good discussion.
Yeah.
We'll keep it up. We're gonna reminisce a bit. I guess in a couple weeks when Mike gets a certain part in his cartoons, then we're gonna go to G series. Right. Then we're gonna do the G series.
Yeah, we should do these sprinkled in with some of the other series of stuff we do too. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, I won't be doing them on regularly. Sunday works perfectly regularly, but it's Super Bowl Sunday, so I'm not. Wife would kick my ass. Yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah. Well, the YouTube channel just holds almost every vid I've ever done. I don't know if I'm going to ever run out of space, but talk shows wise, a lot of the early adventures aren't on there, but all the talk shows are on there as far as I'm aware. Yeah. And there's a topic, it's there. Anything you think about GREYHAWK, if it's not on there in some little bit, then I think we've covered almost everything we can.
We have covered almost everything at least once, but I'm sure we will come up with cool stuff. And please send us suggestions and mention the suggestions. So, yeah. We've been doing this for years.
Where do I find William H. Dvorak's Dwarf History? Go to his Patreon.
Yes. Yeah.
You got to be on his Patreon to get, especially the older stuff. Let me see if I have it on my. I thought I may have it on my shout outs. If someone else can shout it out, that'd be great.
I have it. I'm a member.
Got so many shout outs. I haven't seen that one in a while.
Let's see here.
Yeah, we did cover the Land of Black Ice. I don't know its entirety, but we talked about that in water, oceans and waterways and things like that. But I don't think we did it just on the Land of Black Ice.
That could be a good idea to come back around to.
Yeah.
For sure.
There are a couple adventures.
Maybe, or hey, we could do, because Anna might dig this, we could do Arctic.
Yes, that will be a good one. That will be a great one. Yeah.
That would cover more ground.
Yeah.
So source, it's a lot. I mean, with this 329 legends and lores and 392.
Where the heck is GREYHAWK Project?
Just on talk shows, there's over 700.
Oh, here we go. Yeah.
So yeah, and that's what happens when you've been streaming for 8.5 years. Actually, it's approaching. May is 9. The end of May.
Here's the GREYHAWK Project. Yep.
Yeah, there you go. That's where you wanna look at information on William Henry Dvorak stuff.
Yep.
Yep. All right, let's do the giveaway here. It's not, but if you know where to get them, or you know where to, you need to know the right persons. But like I got 3 of them at Page last year for $5 each, Mike. Core modules. I was able to get someone was selling.
No, I don't think they were distributed on the Wizards.
I thought they were online stuff.
Exactly, they were the Wizards website.
There were some that were actually printed, core modules.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, but the weird thing is they were distributed as Word documents, and you could download them, but they had a password protection, so they were only for you had to be allowed to get them. Yeah, it was weird, and yeah, so.
don't think I have them. They're probably over in that pile over there. They're over there. There's so much stuff. Yeah, Michael, there was a bunch of the cores.
Yeah, it's such a mess all over the place, so it's kind of Yep.
All right, we're gonna do our normal rating into bones after this, like we do when Darling reads into us. So we got that. All right, here we go. Let's do the giveaway. Tomorrow night's giveaway is Gamescape 3D. Compilation, entire STL download compilation and Troller Game Gift Certificate for those who do not have a 3D printer. And then Frog Got Games PDFs on Saturday. Closing this out, winner is Mech Boy. There you go, Mech Boy. I just saw Mech Boy on, right? I know. Mech Boy, how's Morning Canes and Eye of Doom? How's that sound? Let me know. I think you already have a Treasures, and you got that recently. So, boom. Right, I'm going to send you Morty Can's Fantastic Adventure. There's Eli Tomarest on the cover. No, that's Morty Can on the cover. Eli Tomarest on the inside. Yeah, and then Eye of Doom. All right, I'll send you those two. I know you don't have those. All right, Anna, Mike, thanks.
Oh, thank you.
All right,
thank you everybody for watching.
Let's do a well over 100 raid into. Yeah, there he is. There's Eli Tomarest with the claws that we're talking about.
That's
oh, look, and
really
Rory
good
just came in. Thanks, Rory. Disorderly Dice, who's we're gonna kick off the fundraiser now Wednesday night because they're gonna start it off Wednesday because it's really the time slot they can do. And then we'll have stuff running into Thursday. So Roy and Disorderly Dice will be part of the fundraiser, and that'll start there Wednesday. So thank you, Rory. We're about to raid
thank
into
you, Coop.
Bones.
Yep, thank you.
So sit tight, Rory, as we're going to go into Little Bones from this as we're finishing up. Hope you had a great stream on Wednesday. Thank you so very much for the raid in. And I'm going to hit the wrong button here. I'll see you all tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. All right.
Yeah.
Raiding into Bones. Oh, we're at 13,900. Thank you. 100 to go. 100 to go to get to 14,000. It's a grind. All right, 114. Awesome. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See you tomorrow night. Wow. Awesome.